All right, guys. Yeah, good to be with you. Yeah, I think there's always excitement going into the conference tournament. Always excitement. I think anytime you go through a season where we've had some great wins. Obviously, it's been well documented. Most Big East wins since 2007. A tough closing stretch here of a couple games, but our guys are a pretty resilient group, and they've got a good way about them right now. I think a day off on Sunday helped us rest a little bit, but our guys are in great spirits and know they have a lot to play for, and are excited. They were disappointed they didn't get the 5 seed in the bye, but being the 6 seed, for us, being the 6 seed, the highest seed since we joined the Big East Conference, I think they feel good about that. More importantly, they're excited about playing in the Garden and playing a Georgetown team that was really good against us at their place about a month ago.
You guys haven't seen Georgetown since the end of January. How much do you look at those 2 games versus, the last month of work?
Yeah, we'll look at it for sure. They've really played well. I think they had lost 7 straight before maybe last game, but they had really played well. And you look at their game versus St. John's in the Garden, ironically, they played really well. So they're a team that's playing well right now, despite having maybe not the record that they wanted. They're really physical. I think they're one of the more physical teams in our league. Ed's teams always are. They're playing well right now. We'll need to play well. And, it's a game where, it's a 6-11 game. We're the 6 seed, they're 11 seed, but there's obviously not a lot of separation. As you know, all year, there's not been a whole lot of separation outside of the top 3 teams in the league.
What's the message just about, kind of getting acclimated to the atmosphere and just playing at MSG, what to expect maybe?
Well, the good thing is we do have a few guys that played in it last year. We played really well in the Big East tournament last year. We really do, and we have 5 guys that were part of that team. We got a little taste of that playing Georgetown and then Creighton. So that's good. I think we'll talk through what that environment's like. But more than anything, you're focusing on kind of what winning looks like in a tournament situation, and hitting on those points.
What does winning look like in a tournament situation?
Well, you got to be able to really win. One, there's going to be a big battle in terms of the paint. They got us on the glass last year. They got us, or last time we played, they got us on the free throw line. We've got to be able to get some easy points. We've got to be able to make some shots, and then we've got to really hang our hat on what we hung our hat on all year, which is our defense.
As you kind of head into the Big East tournament, what has it been like coaching this group of guys the whole year?
Well, it's been great. Most nights, it's been great. It's been a group that I think has, I've said all years, this group has taken great ownership and moving our DePaul program forward in a positive way. And I don't know if they set out with any specific mark of, having the most Big East wins since 2007 or the highest seed. I think they just set out to say, hey, we want to move this thing forward in a really positive direction. We want to leave a really positive legacy. Our 4 seniors feel that really strong, and I know they're anxious to play well in New York City.
How do you kind of hone in, because I think NJ said it post-game against Butler, that the press late in the games, he felt really woke up the guards. How do you get them to wake up from the opening tip?
I think, as I talked a little bit about in that game, I do think that probably helped us a little bit. Also there's urgency when you're down like we were. Our guys did a really good job the last 6 minutes, at least, giving ourselves a chance in that game. I think that's the message for us. We've got to be really good, really physical. We've got to play really hard. Georgetown plays really hard. We've got to do that from the start.
The Big East all-conference teams came out. Were you surprised that NJ wasn't a part of any of those teams?
I would have loved to have a couple of our guys on there, honestly. I think there's a couple guys, NJ being one of them, that would have been deserving of having a spot on that team. You can't vote for your own players, or else we certainly would have. But that's out of our control. That's the other coaches, the other SIDs that are putting that list together. And been doing this long enough, and sometimes people get it right, sometimes they don't.
You mentioned post-game needing to get rest, but then you mentioned Georgetown being one of the more physical teams.
Yeah.
How do you kind of balance that?
Well, we had a good physical practice today. they've got really good size, great length. Their big Vince has been phenomenal for him. I think he had a double-double in their last game. Former top 30 player in the country. He's been really good for him here of late. Really good. So we needed rest after Saturday, after 3 games in a week. Our guys got the rest. Now we got to get back to work.
Yes.
Need to go. Coach, you talked about your returning core plus Brandon kind of needing to really take ownership as a team in terms of leadership later on in the season. Just what have the conversations with them been like late season as you kind of inch toward the tournament?
I talked to some guys yesterday. I think they've got to own us having a great response, playing like we did, against Marquette, playing like we did against Creighton and other teams. They've got to own that, take ownership in that, and I know they do. I know they care about it. I know they're excited about another opportunity, excited about the stage we're on, and they know, Georgetown's playing well and going to be good as well. So I think they're all in a good spot, and we've got to have a great response in terms of the adversity of the game. Most times we've done that this year. That's required in tournament play, and I know they're excited about it.
Has Ilya cleared concussion protocol?
Not yet. I'll know more tomorrow.
And I wanted to ask you about Isaiah. A couple weeks ago, you said you couldn't tell us anything. Is there any updated information on his injury?
I think that'll be something after the season we'll discuss, and I'm going to leave that more up to him.
Any other questions?
Oh, yeah, actually, Coach, I did want to ask you, over the weekend, even though they still play the final technically, Rod Strickland was LIU Sharks did sponsor tickets
Yeah.
to the NCAA tournament. Just
Yeah.
having gotten to know him and now seeing him as a coach go to the tournament after being there as a player, just what does it mean to know that he's be coaching?
Oh, super happy for Rod. I'm super happy for Rod, his staff, because I know when he took that thing over, he was, they had some tough early years as he was rebuilding that. He's done a phenomenal job. I love that for Rod. I'm excited to follow him. I think they might play a team that's not eligible for the tournament in the championship game, and then obviously they punch their ticket. So, man, he's a phenomenal person, Rod is, and he's been great to our program. Super excited to follow them in the tournament.
NJ, what has practice been like since you guys had the loss you guys had on Saturday, leading up to the tournament?
Just a lot of attention to detail. I think getting more opportunities in transition has been a big thing Coach has been harping on, and then attention to detail defensively, I feel like has been the biggest pet peeve right now.
How excited are you just to play at Madison Square Garden again?
I'm really excited. I was just telling the guys it was probably the greatest 2 games last year I played in my college career, so I'm very excited to go back.
What's kind of been just the message to some of the other guys in terms of what to expect, maybe atmosphere-wise? I know a few of you played there last year, but yeah.
Just to kind of focus on the game, stay together. I think our response has to be really good, especially in Madison Square. I feel like it's really like a spotlight type of court where you hear the crowd, but you really can't see anybody. It's more dim out there. So just staying together and paying attention to what Coach says and listening to calls and stuff.
Coach mentioned rest, like after Butler and now going to tournament. How do you balance that as a player of like getting your rest but still staying ready for the game?
It is really hard. I think the guys, especially yesterday, we all went and got in the ice bath and did some hot tub also. I think it's been a big factor, playing games back to back. But we can't really use our bodies as an excuse or anything. But it is our number one priority right now is taking care of our bodies, going to sleep, getting a lot of rest. And I think the guys have done a really good job of doing that.
NJ, last year at the Big East tournament, you were coming back from that hand injury. That was your first time back. What's it like going into this game? I know everybody's, banged up, but like, what's it like going in fully healthy, heading into that game compared to where you were last year?
It means a lot. I think last year I felt like it was an expectation level of a lot of people expecting me to come back and play well. I think right now my mindset is just how can I help impact my team, winning plays, doing everything I can to help us win a game. Georgetown I feel like is playing really well right now, and it's a big matchup for us, and I think it's just going to be a very high level of attention to detail and just staying the course the entire game.
Going into your tournament as a senior, what's kind of like your thought process being like to prepare for that and to enjoy the moment?
Just being more of a leader. I feel like sometimes Cruz has been playing a lot better, but they can kind of get sidetracked of what is going on during the game. So just trying to keep everybody on the same level, same line. And I think CJ and Layden have done a really good job of doing that for our other guys also.
What's the key to, going up against Vince on the other side for Georgetown?
He's very physical, and I think he's been shooting the ball a lot better also. So it's really like keeping him off the glass is the number one thing I feel like me and Fabian have to really pay attention to doing, because he's a really good offensive rebounder, but he also plays with good physicality. He rolls hard, so it's just like staying in front of him, letting him see bodies. But I'm excited for the matchup. I like playing against Vince.
You weren't selected to any of the Big East Conference teams. I guess does something like that fuel you, or is it kind of just like you put it in the back of your mind and that's it and you move on?
It does 1000% fuel me, but I also put it in the back of my mind. I mean, it is what it is. I know that we're blessed to even be able to play the game, and just grateful to be in the position I have been in. So just doing everything I can to help my group, and the individual stuff will come. Yeah.
NJ, what has the conversation been like along the senior group, especially following that Butler game, just kind of getting the guys prepared for this Georgetown game and kind of put that one behind you?
After the game, I feel like me and B-Mac kind of had the guys come into our rooms, and we had probably a 2-hour discussion or so, and I think it got pretty deep, to the point where like the care level and the care factor was just, you could tell in guys' eyes, and some tears dropping and stuff like that. So I feel like these guys have a lot of motivation going into the tournament for sure.
Why did you guys feel like that was necessary to have like a players only meeting for that long?
I just think the last 2 games it's like joy. I feel like this team has ran off a lot of joy, and our effort plays and playing super hard, and I just feel like we haven't had that same bite since Marquette. So BMAC thought it would be a good idea. It was his idea to have everybody just come to the room, spend some quality time together, and kind of talk about the last couple of games, and I think it really helped us.